الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على نبينا Muhammad وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. So Alhamdulillah, previously you guys had an exam, and then on Tuesday, what did you have on Tuesday? Telling off, that's what you got. Right, a lot of students are coming late. Well, a lot of them aren't even attending, and those who are coming late. Whether the class starts late or not, you attend at the time. You should attend before the teacher arrives and after the teacher leaves. And most of the time, the reason the class starts late is because of technical issues. People are praying, so we can't set up. So once they've left, then you can put the table out and everything. And then it takes time to connect everything to the projector and everything. And then it gets delayed. So even though 8 o'clock is the time, sometimes the setup starts at 8 o'clock. And hence we end up starting 10 minutes late. But whatever the case may be, you guys should always be here on time. And the easy way is just come for Salah. Salah is now at 7:30. Class used to be at 7:30. Just come same time. Yeah, and you pray in Jama'ah, you get the reward of that. And then you're early for class, you can quickly revise all the questions that you're going to get asked. And it works out instead of coming late. Because otherwise, if you aim for 8 o'clock, Musa, what happens? You miss the first bit and you come late. And a lot of you guys stop revising and so on. You know, subhanAllah, I've got a lot of plans to do a lot of stuff. Not only these lessons, but other stuff as well. But if you guys aren't putting the effort in, then I'm not going to put the effort in either. You know, when it comes to the adab talib ilm, the etiquette of a student of knowledge, when we did it with Shaykh Abdul Hamid al-Husari, he summarized it. He said all these etiquettes in this chapter can be summarized into one thing, which is the teacher will only give the best of what he has until you give the best of what you have. So all of the etiquettes are just showing you how to be the best, show the best respect, the best etiquette with your teacher. And if you do that, then a teacher will give you extra stuff. I'll give you a practical example of what's happened in our class. I'll give you 2 students, Hamza and Qasim. You all know Hamza and Qasim, right? Qasim's okay, inshallah. Is he gone? He's gone. But Qasim knows this and he's told other people as well. And he accepts it. Hamza, Allah Barak, you guys know, he's a very serious student. Yeah? He's in the room, but I've turned the mic off so he can't hear me. Yeah? MashaAllah, full-time job, yet he's doing hifz. Even right now, what's he doing? He's doing his hifz. Yeah? Full-time job, yeah, he's doing his hifz. He's here. There's been times where I've stayed till him till like 11 p.m. in the masjid. Comes every day for Fajr. And he's only been doing hifz with me for a year, like literally exactly a year. And how much has he done? 11 juz. MashaAllah. So now, if he asks me for something, I have no problem. I give him that time. Today, he read something in the morning, he didn't know it. I told him, learn it again. He came to me later, he said, look, if I learn it throughout the day, can I read to you after Asr? I said, okay. And I gave him time, even though I was busy. I got other stuff to do, and obviously listening to him takes time out, and then by the time I go upstairs, I had to come back downstairs because I was teaching the hifz class, the other hifz class. So I kind of got nothing done in that time. But I have no problem. Why? Because he puts in the effort. Qasim, for example, he was missing a lot of lessons. So when he would attend, I never used to listen to him. I used to make him read to other people. Until he attended, I think, for like 2-3 weeks straight. And then I started listening to him. And then he stopped again, so I stopped listening to him. Okay? That's just like an example. Why? Why should I put in all that effort if you guys are just going to take the mic? Right? So, point being is that you have to put in more effort. Come on time, revise, be serious, show that you're serious. If none of you guys are serious, then let's stop, I'll do other stuff. I've got like 4 or 5 books that I've written, which I've not completed, and to complete them, I can spend my time doing that. I've got Taraweeh coming up, I can do my Quran, revise for that. Right? How have you done? Right? I got a family, take the family out. I can do a lot of stuff. Right? So, alhamdulillah, I do benefit from preparing for the lessons, but the main benefit, I've studied the book, I've memorized the book. I don't need, main benefit is for you guys. Alhamdulillah, you tell me, how many other graduates do you know that actually do lessons like this in a systematic manner every single week, this many number of times, make you memorize, give you exams and so on? Hardly any. So, ala kulli hal, mashallah, you guys, the ones I'm seeing, generally do attend. But, so the message is more for those who aren't attending or are late, which I don't know if they're going to watch it or not. But nonetheless, it's for all of us, inshallah. Today we're just going to go through the exam. And there's no lesson next week. So we're going to just do it today. We're going to stop, we're going to continue after Ramadan, inshallah. Anyone's got any catching up to do, any memorization to do, because now we're going to go faster. You guys are seeing we're going a bit faster now. So every lesson I want to go through about 2 hadith, at least. So in a week we might do 4 hadith. So you guys need to, those who are memorizing, need to go ahead. Alright? So anything you need to do, this is a perfect opportunity. Don't get lazy. Do not get lazy. I know exactly what's going to happen. What's going to happen is, Tuesday's going to come, yeah, I got a day off, I'll just chill. Thursday the same thing, and the week's gone and you wasted it. Rather, in the time of the lesson, sit down and revise. If you can, if you're really serious, then what you would do is message each other saying, let's revise. And you still come to the masjid at the same time because it's part of your routine. You don't mess up the routine. And after Isha, you sit together and you revise and you test each other. You've not missed out. It's something you normally do anyway. And you actually revise, and because you're with your friends, it aids you, it motivates you when it comes to revision. So that's a suggestion. We'll see how many people, follow that up. Let's quickly just go through the exam. By the way, I've started to say ala kulli hal a lot. Do you know what that means? Literally upon every state. Anyways, I picked it up from Ustadh Ihsan. Ihsan said it in every sentence he says it. Right. Yeah, this exam, I actually decided to make the exam easy for you. It wasn't even that hard of an exam. Was it too easy? Yeah? Because I thought before, what are you doing? Don't press anything, Aman. Just leave it. Alright. So I thought, especially because Hadith Jibreel was long, the exam might have been a bit hard, I'll make this exam a bit easier. So let's see how everyone done. Now the first question, even before this was, what is your name? And this is, I don't know why I forgot to change it, it's actually a 1 marker. So, Hura'un, UN. Unless, if that's an actual name, then okay. If it's not your name, then you lose a mark. Yeah? Actual question number 1. 2 marks. What are the things the angels write down when the child is in the womb of the mother? So 4 things. Bikat, huh? Do you know, you stop, yeah, stop if you want. It'd be good if you stop, actually. Okay. Make sure you have somewhere you can keep a tally of the marks. Okay, so what is it? بِكَتْبِ رِزْقِهِ, provisions of sustenance. Number 1. وَأَجَلِهِ, and the lifespan. وَعَمَلِهِ, and the actions. وَشَقِيٌّ or سَعِيد, and wretched or unhappy. نعم. I.e. from the people of paradise or the people of hellfire. That's 2 marks, half a mark for each one. Half a mark for each one. Question number 2. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran that only He knows what's in the womb of the mothers. This contradict ultrasound scans where we can see the gender. Explain your answer. So you get 1 mark for saying yes or no. And you get another mark for giving the explanation. And so the answer is no. And then for the reason you can give 2 answers. MashaAllah, the first answer is written both. Firstly, which is after 120 days, it no longer becomes the ilm al-ghayb al-mutlaq, the unrestricted knowledge of the unseen, because the angel knows. So some of the creation does know, so it's not something which is specific to Allah. And number 2, the scans aren't 100% accurate all the time. So sometimes they might say something, and it might turn out to be the opposite gender. So that's 2 marks, 1 for the answer, and 1 for at least 1 reason. Number 3, if a person does good their entire life, will Allah cause them to go astray at the end, يعني at the end of their life? Answer with a proof. So again, this is 2 marks, and the answer is no. And the dalil is other hadith of the Prophet where he says, فِيمَا يَبْدُو لِلنَّاسِ, what is apparent to the people. He does actions of the people of Jannah as it seems to the people. What makes something an innovation? This is 3 marks. So I want 3 main answers. Okay. The first one is, so this could either be 2 points or it could be 1. That's why it's left it as 3 marks. There's no foundation, there's no asl for it, and there's no dalil. Yeah? And number 2, attributed to the religion. And number 3, there was a need in the time of the Prophet to do it, and there was nothing stopping him, and yet the Prophet did not do it. Yeah? That's 3 marks. Yeah. Yeah. Did you mention the story? The man who killed 99, how? He repented, na'am, sah. Could be a delay, but this is clear cut because the wording is actually the wording of the hadith. The exact same wording of the hadith. That is not as clear cut. So I'll give you half a mark for that delay. Mention the different types of innovations from 4 different angles, because in total we mentioned 5. So we mentioned 4. This is, so 4 marks. So for each one you get, so for each splitting, so not only you mentioned the angle, the 2 types that it splits into is 1 mark. So here the place, worldly affairs or in the religion, the origin, حقيقية and إضافية. You got the ruling, بدعة مكفرة, غير مكفرة, the time, بدعة أصلية and نسبية. So that first answer here is very good. Action? No, that's not an answer. The 5th one is doing the action or leaving off the action. But if you just put these 4, that's fine. Okay. Number 6. What's the difference in bid'ah and masalih al-mursala? What? What's the answer?
Masalih al-mursala is something that has benefit.
So bid'ah is an innovation. Masalih al-mursala is something which comes under the general principles and adillah of the Sharia. And the Sharia itself has not come for it or against it. And it's not in the affairs of worship. That's very important. Okay? So it's not like we're adding a new salah or something, or the way to do dhikr. But there's things outside of it, like because you have to stand straight. So you put a line there to help you. It's not in the act of worship itself, like without it you can still pray. But it's just there to help you. That's masalih al-mursala. And he said give examples. So examples of masalih al-mursala, the lines, the mihrab, madaris, compilation of the Quran, and so on. This one was 2 marks. 1 for the difference and 1 for an example. Number 7, imagine there was a friend of yours who is performing some innovations. How would you advise him? Mention at least 4 dangers of bid'ah upon an individual and 2 upon society. So this is 7 marks. The reason it's 7 is because 4 marks were for the 4 dangers of bid'ah upon an individual, such as being rejected, being misguidance, worst of actions, attack on the Prophet, attack on the Sahaba, attack on Islam, out of the, I don't know, like 15 that we mentioned, or whatever it was. And then 2 on society. It weakens the ummah, it disunites the ummah, it causes the sunnah to be lost, and so on. And then 1 more mark was just generally to see how you would advise him. So that first person said, I'll advise him privately and discreetly. It's fine. As long as there's some indication on how they would do it, and I'll leave this to judgment of the one who's marking. Do they feel like it's a good answer or not? Now this is a good one. Give a solution where possible. Meaning, if there's something else that he can do, that's very good. Always giving solutions so that they have like a replacement. Something else that they can do is very good and important. That's 7 marks, yeah? Question number 8. What are the 5 foundational issues that bid'ah took place in? Right. Also mention the opinions in each issue. So it's 10 marks, meaning there are 5 foundational issues. So you get a mark for each of those issues, and then you get another mark if you mention the 2 groups, or the groups and what they said. Yeah, so you mentioned the 2 on the sides, and then you mentioned Ahlul Sunnah in the middle as well. So, what are the 5 things? The first issue is names and attributes. On one side you have the Mu'attilah, those that negate, from Al-Jahmiyyah and others. Other side you have Muthabbitah, the Mushabbihah, the Mujassimah. And in the middle you have Ahlul Sunnah, who describe Allah as He, in the manner befitting His Majesty. Or if you want the whole answer, by affirming what Allah said in Quran Sunnah, negating what Allah said in Quran Sunnah without doing the 4 things. The second is Qadr. You have on one side you have the Qadariyah who deny it, the other side you have Jabariyah who say you're forced, and then we have Ahlul Sunnah in the middle. The names, so those that say whoever major sin, Murji'ah say he's a believer, full iman, and Khawarij and Mu'tazila. Khawarij say he's a kafir, Mu'tazila say he's manzila bayna manzilatain. Issue number 4 is punishment in the hereafter. The Khawarij and Mu'tazila, who are also known as the Wa'idiyah, say that in the hellfire forever, and the Murji'ah say that they are in paradise, where Ahlul Sunnah say they are under the Mashi'ah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the last issue is of the Sahaba. On one side you have the Rawafid, on the other side Nawasib, and Ahlul Sunnah in the middle. That's 10 marks. That's 10 marks, yeah? Next one, what's the difference in Zuhd and Wara'? Wara' is leaving off that which harms you in the Akhirah. Zuhd is leaving off that which does not benefit you in the Akhirah. Wara' is leaving off that which harms you in the Akhirah. And Zuhd is leaving off that which does not benefit you in the Akhirah. So it's a high level. 1 mark. Number 10. What are the 6 necessities of the religion? Number 1, Hifdhul Deen, preservation of religion. Number 2, Hifdhul Nafs, preservation of life. Number 3, Hifdhu, here they've got Al-Ard, honor. I can put it in any order, it's fine. Even though there is an order to it, but it's fine. Number 4, Hifdhul Mal, preservation of wealth. Hifdhul Aql, preservation of intellect. Hifdhul Nasab, preservation of lineage. So that in total is 2 marks. 2 marks for all of them. And if you make 1 mistake, 1 mark. If you make 2 or more mistakes, 0 marks. If you only got 4 out of 6, 0 marks. Some guy wrote here, I don't know, I'm just guessing. That's probably Aman, isn't it? You sure? Let's see what Aman did. He didn't use commas and apostrophes. 2 high levels for them, right? Number 11. How do you deal with money which is halal and haram? Mention the 5 scenarios. What are the 5 scenarios? If it's all halal, you can use it. All haram, you can't use it. If it's more halal than haram, you can use it. If it's more haram than halal, 2 opinions of Ahmad. 1 is wara' and the second is makruh. And number 5 is, if you know that the thing in of itself is haram, then it's not allowed to use it. That's 5 marks. Number 12 is easy. Explain hadith number 7 by explaining the meaning of nasiha and then applying it to the hadith. So you get 1 mark for explaining the word nasiha and 1 mark for applying it. The applying part is easy. Yeah, I feel like it's quite easy, straightforward. What's the meaning of nasiha? Wanting good for the one that you are giving nasiha to and upholding their rights. Yeah, if you wrote something along them lines, it's fine. And then by Allah, by forming His Tawheed, and even if you didn't mention the exact thing Ibn Uthaymeen mentioned, it doesn't matter. As long as you give the general meaning, worship Him alone, uphold His Tawheed and so on. The Messenger, You believe in all the messengers, we follow the Prophet ﷺ, we follow his sunnah, we defend his sunnah, we don't innovate, and so on. The books, we believe in all of the books, but we believe that the Quran has abrogated all the previous books, and so on. And, we took this in Iman and Usul Thalatha and so on. Number 13. Why is fulfilling the commandments restricted to a person's ability, but that's not the case for staying away from prohibitions? In total, you mentioned, I think, 4 reasons for why prohibitions don't have istita'a, and you mentioned 2 reasons of why commandments is restricted by istita'a, right? But you don't have to mention all of them. It's only 2 marks, so as long as you mention 2 of them. So why is nahi not restricted? Because nahi, a prohibition, is something to stay away from. That's something that everyone can do. Number 2, there's no need to do muharramat. Number 3, there's no benefit generally. And number 4, the prohibitions are much less than the commandments. And as for why is commandments restricted? Because if you can't do it, then it's not obligatory. If you can do it partially, then you just do what you can. Okay, so as long as you mentioned 2 out of everything that I mentioned, you can have the marks. Which is greater, leaving off an obligation or doing a prohibition? So here you get 1 mark for talking about the issue quickly, saying the ulama differ. Some have said the obligation because of is restricted to ability and you have to do it, so it requires effort. And some have said prohibition because someone said probably because the story of Adam alayhi salam and so on. If you mention that, that's fine. And then about the second mark would be there's not much benefit in the khilaf. The bottom line is that if Allah tells you to do something, you do it, and if He prohibits you from doing something, you stay away from it. What's the name of Abu Hurairah? Abdurrahman ibn Sakhar. Abdurrahman ibn Sakhar. 1 mark. Mention 1 benefit from the ayah: O messengers, eat from the pure and do righteous actions. 1 is that Allah has blessed us with food which is pure, so therefore doing righteous actions is showing shukr for that, because that's how it's connected. Another is that if you connect it with the other ayah, Allah has commanded the messengers and the believers with the same thing. Right? So if you have that, that's fine as well. Number 7 is tayyib from the names of Allah. What does it mean? Yes, it is. It means the one who is pure and free from all deficiencies and imperfections in his essence, actions, names, attributes. No. That's 2 marks. 18. Mention the etiquettes and prevention of dua in hadith number 10. So only mention those in the hadith, not the extra ones that I give. So in the hadith, there were 5 etiquettes and 1 preventative. Hence, it's 6 marks. The preventative is what? Eating haram, a haram income. خلاص, that's done. What are the 5 du'as? ثم ذاك الرجل يطيل السفر, traveling. أشعث أغبر, disheveled and so on, humility. يمد يديه إلى السماء, raising the hands. يقول يا رب يا رب, use names and attributes of Allah, and تكرارا إلحاح, repeating. SubhanAllah, look, if you just memorize the hadith, you can just mention it. I didn't memorize the 5 etiquettes, I just memorized the hadith and I was able to tell you guys. And then there's feedback, خلاص. Let's see. So the first 3 questions weren't discussed in the notes and he didn't talk about them either. Therefore, I advise I include extra questions that weren't in the notes as long as you mention them. The first 3 questions. What are the first 3 questions? What are the things the angel writes down that's in the hadith? Allah mentioned, we went through it. The notes are there to help you. The notes is not gospel and just, if a person does a good deed, that's in the notes. I literally wrote the narration for you. So this person was advising us, we advise them to revise. And the notes, I leave stuff out on purpose. Otherwise, if I write everything, I might as well publish as a book. It becomes a proper explanation, which I might do actually in the future, thinking about it. But it's just there to make it easy for you. Perhaps throw more curveballs in which weren't questions that were repeated in class. Oh, so this person saying the exam's too easy, yeah? Was that you? Maybe we could start doing 3 lessons a week. Yeah, people aren't just... start a class football session too. Some brothers, I think, tried. You play football, no?
Yeah.
Inshallah. I might have my ACL injury. I think operation soon. After that, I'll show you guys as well football. نعم خير الحمد لله. نعم خلاص. Inshallah, for now we'll stop here بإذن الله تعالى. I'll continue after Ramadan. So anyone who needs to catch up with anything, anyone who needs anything they need to move ahead in memorization, catch up, whatever it is, this is your opportunity. And after Ramadan, inshallah, we'll continue. So all classes in Ramadan will stop. My Fajr Hifz class, that time I might change it to after Taraweeh instead. Because Isha is about 8, Taraweeh finish latest 10 to 11. It's easier for everyone. Fajr is difficult, especially in Ramadan. In terms of these classes not taking place, Arabic classes will take place inshallah. So decided it's going to take place every Saturday after Dhuhr for about 1 hour, give or take. Yeah? There'll be a daily reminder after Fajr as well. So you know the book we're doing, Hadith Islah al-Qulub, got about 20 chapters left. I want to finish that book. So in Ramadan we'll just finish it. After Isha, what I'm thinking is we'll do so we're going to do a mixture of tafsir and of the recite with us. In the recite with us, Tarawih, after Tarawih. So with the recite with us, I'll go through the tajweed rules as well. And then as for tafsir, normally what I do is every juz I summarize it, mention some main points. But I think this time I might change it, because I've done that twice now. I might just, what we'll do is just go through the small surahs. So Surah Fatiha, then Surah Nas, Surah Falaq. I think for the general people it's important. In terms of other stuff, I have got a Dawra next week online. You might have seen the post in my group, not in the INKPOT, in my group. I'm going through 33 ahadith pertaining to fasting. So if you want to sign up to that, then sign up, message the number, same admin as Arabic. My wife will also be starting a sisters only program in Ramadan for sisters. Any sisters that want to attend, inshallah, poster should be done in a day or two. Where every day 2 hours, but they go through tafsir of the whole Quran. Not tafsir, any more translation than just the main explanation, and that way they finish the whole Quran in Ramadan. So the sisters, that's for them. Other than that, we'll have a weekly lecture in Ramadan every Saturday, I think. Poster should be out soon. Depends on when Ahmed gets back to me. So we'll have different lectures, and the theme this year is Khulafa al-Arba', the 4 Khulafa. So we'll do one lecture on Bakr, one on Umar, and so on, radiallahu anhum. And then I think that's it. And we'll continue inshallah after Ramadan. Any questions? No? سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.